Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Heroclix podcast. I'm Alec Musser, one of your hosts, and I am here, as always, with Manny Ortega.
Hello, hello.
The Man Thing Ortega. Just
Yes.
so we're clear. We're Man Thing and the Ballers. That's all our team names. So, so let's start off, like always, let's talk about the games we've been playing. So why don't you kick us off, Manny? I don't know if you have any games you've been playing lately.
Yeah, I'm always playing games, but a game that recently we've been playing more lately is a game called Summoner Wars. It is big with because as we talked about before, me and you grew up in the church community. It's big in my church community because of the fact that the creator of the game actually went to our church for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it called Summoner Wars? I have to look this up.
Yeah, it's called Summoner Wars. He got big. He sold it. I think sold it and then bought it back. So it's back under his name now. But the name of the guy is Colby Donaldson. But it's pretty much like a pre-made deck. You get a pre-made deck, and you're pretty much the object of the game is to kill the other person's summoner by playing cards and moving and attacking. So kind of like Heroclix.
And there's dice too.
Yep.
Interesting.
Attack rolls are all dice based.
That's awesome. That looks really fun, actually. Oh, it's pretty cheap too. It's about $45.
Yep.
That's awesome.
For the newer edition, I believe that's what I have right now.
Okay.
There's a second edition, but the old stuff we've been playing with the older set.
Gotcha. That's awesome. I think something that I've been playing lately is Euchre, which isn't really a board game, but yeah, I freaking love Euchre.
Yeah, man, we do too.
Megan and I played it with my parents while we were on vacation in Hilton Head, and it was a lot of fun. We also played a couple Seinfeld trivia games because our family is a huge Seinfeld family. My parents grew up we grew up watching some parts of Seinfeld growing up, and we just super love that game, and we love that show, and that show is just so funny. It's just a huge part of my life, and we were able to watch it multiple times when we had COVID a couple years ago, and we just never stopped watching it. And now I feel like I'm on the level where I can keep up with my mom finally on these trivia games because my mom just knows everything about Seinfeld, and it's hilarious. Funny. So today on the podcast, we have two topics that we really want to talk about. And I think one of the things is Black Panther set is scheduled to come out in a couple weeks. I don't think that's going to happen, but it is scheduled to come out on the 16th of October. Yep. And we're just going to talk about maybe some speculations, or maybe, and more importantly, and more notably, we want to talk about maybe some legacy cards that we would like to see being made for some figures that we feel like matches the set. So without further ado, here are our Black Panther legacy card predictions, or just anything else in general that we feel like is going to be in the set. So Manny, why don't you kick us off? What legacy card would you like to see?
Not what I like to see, but the thing I'm most expecting is the Age of Ultron Super Black Panther legacy card.
Yes. If they don't make that, I'm going to be incredibly upset.
It's got to, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it, right? Actually, I purposefully dug that out of my collection and put it on my shelf.
So did I.
Okay, so we're on the same page here. That's awesome. I think that would be cool. So let's take a look at him real quick. If you want to, we'll look at these figures and maybe we'll talk about maybe just a little bit like what we would change and what we would give him to make him a little bit more modern friendly. Here he is. So as of right now, he is 140 points with no reducers. Oh, he's got toughness. Ooh.
Wow.
He has the Avengers, a Fantastic Four, Illuminati, Martial Artist, Mystical Ruler, Scientist keywords. I think all those keywords are great. He's got the Avengers team ability, which would be great on him, especially back then when it was just like the free make a move, I think, or like when he moves an additional couple spaces or something like that. Was that what it was?
I think it was like, something like that. Had something to do with movement for sure.
Yeah, for sure. His first trait is Black Panther use stealth and toughness traded. When it is in your turn, lines of fire to him are blocked as if he is adjacent to blocking terrain.
Okay, so not with clicks down.
Yeah. So basically it's better stealth if you're next to blocking terrain.
Yeah, you don't have to be in it, just next to it.
Yeah, which I think how I would change this to keep it kind of modern, especially with like Mern being very around, is if it said Black Panther can't be targeted if he's adjacent to blocking
Yeah,
terrain.
yep.
But other than that, I think it's really good. He has a special movement power on his first, second, and then 6th and 7th clicks. He gets KO'd on his 8th click, so he's got the first 2 and last 2 clicks of his life. He has he can use charge, and when he occupies hindering terrain or is adjacent to blocking terrain, he can use sidestep.
Yeah, I don't think that's that bad.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fine. I think maybe I think that number one, I think that they would probably just give him the Black Panther team ability to just give him stealth.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that is coming out.
Yeah, which is kind of nice.
Yep.
I maybe instead of sidestep, maybe he has traded sidestep and toughness, and then he can use flurry or maybe charge. Don't have speed on charge if he meets those conditions.
Yep, not have speed if he's in hindering.
Yes, because this whole Black Panther seems like it's very much this is the cloaking tech, like stealthy, like in the shadows Black Panther.
Right.
So he has a special damage power just on his first 2 clicks. That's just leadership and outwit,
Which I think would be fine.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's
yeah.
good. I think I would lower his points drastically. I think obviously improve movement. Hindering doesn't exist, but anymore. But the improved movement elevated, and maybe even just doing characters or something like that would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got pretty decent stats: 10, 11, 17, 3 on his first 2 dials with combat reflexes, precision strike, and then those 2 special powers. And then he eventually gets outwit and perplex, and then he eventually lands on super senses, plasticity, and Blades, Claws, Fangs. Yeah, I would probably drop him to like 60 points. What do you think?
Let's say 75, 60.
Yeah. I like this Black Panther a lot, though. I hope they do a lot with him. I hope he's actually a good legacy card.
Add the Wakandan keyword, because he does not have that.
Oh, yeah, he does not have that. He does not have that, does he?
Does not have the Wakandan keyword. But then again, I don't know how many figures back then had the Wakandan keyword.
That's true. I don't know. I think that might be a newer thing.
I think so, too.
All right. So for par with the Illuminati, I think a really cool figure that we could see coming out is the very iconic sculpt of the super rare Namor from Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, yes.
I believe that's the right one. I think it's the one where it looks like he dived underwater and is swimming.
Yep, that's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, this is more your stuff. I feel like you know more about that set. This era of Heroclix is like, I know exactly what it is.
It's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. super rare.
Yeah.
Also 140 points.
He's a little bit deeper. So he goes to 9 clicks. He has 2 traits and a special damage power. You would go ahead and read those traits for me if you want.
His first trait is Invade Your Territory. It is Namor ignores opposing barrier and smoke cloud markers for movement, which I don't think smoke cloud matters anymore. And removes them from the game when moving through them.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. This would be a good to counter most of the Black Panther stuff that's going to have like stealth and stuff like that as well too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The second one is and leave behind a bit of mine. When Namor or another friendly character uses the invade your territory trait, after actions resolve, you may place a water terrain marker in any of the squares from which a barrier or smoke cloud was removed.
So I think you could just combine those 2 traits and make that just one big trait.
Yeah. There was not 2 of them.
Yes, absolutely. It is noted that he has the Atlantis, Avengers, Defenders, Invaders, and Illuminati keyword.
He does have a damage power on his first 4 clicks.
Mm-hmm.
And it says if Namor occupies a square of water terrain and has 0 or 1 action tokens, Give him a free action to place him in another square of water terrain within 6 spaces.
That's really good. That's really good, I feel like.
Yep. If he's in water terrain, move him out or move him around more.
Yeah. I would probably give him some type of power, maybe perplexed or combat expert on that. Notably, he does not have the dolphin keyword. He has the flight team ability or flight thingy. He's a flyer. Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird.
His little tiny feet wings. What points do you feel like this is appropriate if you kept basically everything? We'll add about this. Would you add anything?
I think it is pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, just removing the 2 trait and making it 1. Maybe giving him like, yeah, I think close combat expert on the damage would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Make him a little stronger, then you could put him at, I'd say 100 points if you give him close combat expert.
Yeah, I agree. I think 90 to 100 would be pretty solid for this Namor.
Yep. Hitting 12 for 5 is pretty solid.
Would you give him any team abilities?
He does have the Avengers and Defenders keyword.
Yeah, I can see both of those being on there, actually.
Yeah. Maybe, well, if you were doing him at 100 points, then yeah, because then he would have a 13 attack pending.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he has 0 range, so he'll be a 13 up close regardless. Yeah, I feel like a 100-point figure with a 13 attack doing 5 damage that can place himself within 6 squares is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then the Defender's team ability, whatever. I mean, like, honestly, who actually uses that?
Right. Defenders, cool.
Yeah, Defender's cool.
Sweet.
All right, is there any other figures that you're looking at?
There's 2 more that I'm expecting.
Yeah.
I'm expecting probably the Man-Ape super rare.
Man-Ape, okay.
From Avengers Defenders War.
Okay, let's take a look at it. Oh, interesting. Okay. He has Wakanda Animal Mystical. He's a super rare. He is Man-Ape. Can use Steal Energy traded. When Man-Ape KOs an opposing character 50 points or more after actions resolve, so after resolutions, remove an action token from him. Okay. He can... That is 100 points seems like that's way too much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Especially with only the mostly having just toughness.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just having toughness, combat reflexes. Yeah. I think so he does have charge and hypersonic, right? So those seem pretty standard. Mystical's really nice right now. He is doing 4 damage, which is pretty good. I wonder if I would give him some type it's M'Baku. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
I think I would definitely give him some type of something, because he looks like he's just a pure close attacker.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's something that I would do with him, is just give him some type of buff or something when he makes close attacks, or maybe give him like Flurry. Flurry is free or something like that. And I would bump him probably down to like 50 or 60 points.
Yeah, I was thinking 50 as well. If you leave him just how he is, I think 50 would be fine as well too.
That's true. Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you KO someone of 50 points or more, which a lot of characters are going to be around, I mean, like you could, I guess maybe not. I guess a lot more characters are less than 50 points nowadays, huh?
Yeah. It's hard to gauge that, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe Flurry. Maybe give him Flurry. That'd be cool. I'd say 50 points. Drop him to 50 points. Maybe give him a little something extra.
So I think, did they spoil that that super rare? So that rare Captain America, I think, is coming out in this set.
Oh, is it?
I believe
Captain?
The one with the Thor hammer.
Yeah, I believe it's the Captain.
I know he's coming soon. That is for sure. So I don't know. So I'm gonna stick with the Illuminati's because I feel like a lot of Illuminatis are probably not going to. I think this is going to be more of a Wakandan themed set. But I think that I think we're going to see a lot of Illuminatis maybe in this set or in the Legacy set just to fulfill it. And another one I was thinking about is the rare Black Bolt from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, yeah, I can see that one.
He's 150. Oh, okay, yeah. So let's talk about this real quick because he's got some range on him. He's got 9 range. Yeah. So he's got Illuminati, Inhumans, and Rulers. I think that's good. I don't know what else I would give him. I don't know what else he would theme with.
Yeah,
because he's not really an X-Men
ruler.
Yeah, because he's an Inhuman. That's right.
Yeah.
So he's got 150 points. He's 7 clicks deep. He starts out with invulnerability, goes to toughness, and then a 15 ESD. Woof. He does have leadership on his first 2 clicks, and he's got Pulse Wave. Which back then, this Pulse Wave was a 5 range Pulse Wave. So that really nerfs him, like, just off the bat. But I think we could try and fix him up a little bit. So let's see what we can do. He's got 1 trait that says Black Bolt can use Perplex, but can't modify damage values and may only target characters with the Inhumans keyword within 3 squares.
Maybe just give him Perplex.
Yeah, just give him Perplex.
Give him Perplex. And maybe put +2 with an Inhumans keyword.
Yes, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Or if he just shares a keyword with somebody.
Yeah.
+2, -2. I like that a lot, actually. And then on his last 3 clicks, he has Sonic Annihilation. Black Bolt can use Pulse Wave and see through, and he can improve targeting blocking, but destroys blocking. And when he uses Pulse Wave, the attack generates knockback, and each hit character is knocked back 3 squares. So, I think what I would do is I would say Black Bolt. I would keep the Black Bolt can use Pulse Wave, but targets through blocking terrain, and I like that a lot. I would probably just give him, like, obviously, like that the wording that it's just knockback now, right? You just say knockback, and we all know that it does knockback, and then you can knock down 3 squares because that's what's locked now. So, I think I would just give him, when he uses this, increase his attack by +2 or +3 or something like that, or you can use or something like that. Just to give him a little bit more oomph, because he's shooting with a 9 attack with that one. That's pretty rough.
Well, I mean, if he plexes himself up, he'll have the +2 anyways, wouldn't?
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. If they did that with him, I feel like Black Bolt, this would be a solid 70 to 80 points.
Yeah, I would agree. 70. Definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, okay. I like this. I think this Black Bolt is really fun. I remember pulling him and thinking he was really fun when I first started playing Heroclix. So
not the coolest Black Bolt sculpt, but I mean, it's still a good figure.
Yeah, it's not that cool, but I don't remember. Is there really a cooler Black Bolt? I like looking at other Black Bolts.
The one from Incredible Hulk wasn't terrible.
Oh, yes. Maybe they do that one instead.
Good.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that one, though. That one's such a messy click. Oh. I'll stick with the other one. All right, what's the last one you got?
So recently, you noticed that a lot of sets have a Chase Legacy card.
Okay.
So my thought one would be Secret Wars, the Battle World, Chase Black Panther holding the gauntlet.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at this one too. This is cool. Okay, yeah, go ahead and run us down.
He is 250 points or 150 points. He has the Illuminati, Wakandan, Cosmic, and Ruler keywords. He has 2 traits and 1 movement ability. 1 movement and 1 defense ability. His first trait is no time for subtlety. Subtlety. I can't read.
No, you're good. It's weird. It's weird to read words that you say, Yeah. Anyways.
Super senses. Black Panther has protected Pulse Wave. If Black Panther is 150 points, he is KO'd when he crosses the red KO line.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then he has wielding the gauntlet. Free. If Black Panther is on click 1 through 6, turn Black Panther the dial to another click from 1 to 6. rotating his current click. If you do, at the end of your turn, just return to the noted click.
Yeah, I like
You can
that.
use any of the clicks, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
On his last 3 clicks, so 7, 8, and 9, he has Charge Flurry. That is his movement ability.
Okay.
And on his defense ability, he has Stop, Combat Reflexes, Toughness. When this click is first revealed, after resolutions generate 2 zombie warrior bystanders. Black Panther can't be healed.
Oh, okay, I see. That's kind of cool. So he can jump off and on that click when it's not his when it's his turn, right? Because he jumps onto another click, does like something special, and then he goes back to that one at the end of the turn, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So you can put him on any of the clicks between 1 and 6.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, that makes sense.
So, yep, I think that could be one of the chase legacies in this upcoming set.
Yeah, absolutely.
250s is a little steep.
Let's take a look real quick. How would we fix him? So I think he would definitely get the Black Panther team ability. So I think he would get the traded stealth.
Mm-hmm.
I like his whole first little thing. I love that. Except
being able to switch.
I would just so what I would do personally is I wouldn't put him. So his point values we can talk about, but I would take away his whole like if he's 150, he gets KO'd when he crosses his red line.
Okay.
I would take away all of that and just have him say like Black Panther starts on click 6, and then have the free if Black Panther's on click 1 through 6. Turn Black Panther dial to another click from 1 to 6, noting his current click. If you do at the end of the turn, return him to the noted click. So I would still keep that. I would just say that he starts on click. So it's kind of like you get to pick your Infinity Gauntlet. Mm-hmm. Like you get to pick your power. And then if he takes damage, then we would keep I like the Charge Flurry. I like the Stop Combat Reflexes. I don't know about the Zombie Warrior, but I would definitely do Stop Combat Reflexes and Toughness or something like that.
What's the super senses trait? So
yes, yep. So he'd be kind of tough to hit. Leadership, I would make him smaller points. I would probably, if you do it like this, so he doesn't have such a deep dial, I would basically, for me personally, I would make him even smaller points. I would say something. I would make him like a base like 50 or 60 points or 70 points maybe, and just that's what I would do personally. I would keep the Power Cosmic team ability obviously like unoutwittable. Yeah. I would just get rid of I would keep the he can't be healed thing. I think that's pretty wild if you are able to heal. But I would take away the whole Zombie Warrior thing. But I'm not too sure what I don't know what storyline that's from or whatever. So
I don't even know what the Zombie Warriors do. So let me see.
Yeah, I don't know what they do either.
They don't show up on the card here.
But I think this would be really cool. I think this would be a good chase to have and a good chase to do. While you look for that, I'm going to load up my last one.
So the Zombie Warrior has Sidestep, Incap, Toughness, and Battle Fury.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, not like super impressive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now 5, 10, 15, 1, so.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, okay, so this one, I know we talk I think so far we've talked about all super rares, a chase, and then a rare, but I don't really care. This is the stuff that we're kind of hoping for or speculating.
Right.
And maybe this one doesn't come out in this set. Maybe this one comes out in the Spider-Man set, but I'm going to say it anyways because I think this would be a really cool figure to remake, and that's Cosmic Spider-Man.
Yes.
So
I'm guessing that would be in the Spider-Man set.
Yeah. So actually, let's not say that one. So let's do another Spider-Man because I have another one that was locked and loaded too. I think personally, the game is really lacking Wonder Woman and Spider-Man team abilities right now and I think they're going to get a lot back here soon with
right,
whatever you call it. But
the Spider-Verse set.
Yes, exactly. So let's go to a different Spider-Man that's also pretty cool. That I could definitely see making its way into this set, and that is where is it? I can't find it. Man, why can't I find it? Oh, here it is. Okay. So it's the Superior Spider-Man from the Deadpool set.
Okay.
I think he would be really cool. Again, he might be. This is probably all better for the actual Spider-Man set that's coming out, but for this sake, I'm going to say that this Spider-Man would be really good in this set because it's Spider. We need, a Spider-Man. There's not many Spider-Man in the entire Heroclix realm right now, so it'd get us a Spider-Man, and I think this is a very unique version of Spider-Man. He has Avengers Scientist. He's 160 points. He can move through Hindering and Elevated. Obviously, Hindering doesn't matter. He's 8 clicks deep for 160 points. KOs on the 9th. He's got super senses to his whole dial. And then he has 2 traits. He has damage dealt by Superior Spider-Man cannot be reduced below 1. So it's basically his own precision strike. I think that's cool. I think that would stay. He has the spider bots thing. So give him a free action and roll a d6. If the result is higher than the total number of friendly spider bots currently on the map, you may place a spider bot on the map up to many squares away. Give Spider-Man a power action to attach the adjacent friendly spider bot if there are less than 2 attached. So I would make those spider bots just bystanders on his card. Because otherwise you're going to have to try and legacy all those. I think there's like 3 different versions of that spider bot.
2, I think.
Okay, there's 2.
Yeah.
I think you kind of just do very similar things to it. And if you have those spider bots, you could just use them as pogs, basically, and give them like pretty adjacent stats to what they are now. So yeah, I think the Spider-Bots thing would be kind of cool. This is a very different version of Spider-Man.
Yep, 2 Spider-Bots, Mark 1 and Mark 2.
Yes. I think something else you could do is give him a lower point line starting on his click 5 if you wanted to, because that's where his movement power starts. And he has that movement power and attack power that we haven't gotten to yet. Starts on click 5, and he has super senses on a 17 and outwit. I think it'd be kind of cool. I don't know if they've ever done that before, but I think that'd be pretty interesting. He has the trait, the special movement power is Charged Flurry. That's in line with Spider-Man. I like that. With this version of Spider-Man, at least. And then Ridding myself of the Weakling Parker is his special attack power that's on click 5 and 6, and give Spider-Man a free action, roll a d6 once per game if the result is 3 through 6. For the rest of the game, modify Superior Spider-Man's attack and damage by +1, and damage dealt to him can't be reduced below 2. Okay, I really like that.
Okay.
So this is giving. So number one, whatever, I don't know what his point values would be if adding this, but I would give him the wall crawler trait. What do you think about that? Do you think that's too much?
The free move?
The free place within 4 squares.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more common in Spider-Man figures in general. I don't see why he wouldn't have it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would keep that. I would honestly keep that special attack power just how it is, because I think that's really cool. It kind of, I think instead of giving him a free action, it would be if Spider-Man hits with a attack, kind of like I would give him the Arachnite power. If you hit with an attack, then you get to roll a d6, or if you KO with an attack, you get to roll a d6. And then if it's a 3 through 6, which is the exact same as Arachnite, he gets +1 attack and damage the rest of the game, and his damage can't be reduced below 2. That makes him really squishy, but also really powerful and mobile.
Yeah.
I think I would make him 100 points and then 60 or 55 points at that 5
55.
point.
Yep.
And I would give him the Spider-Man team ability. So he has a 4 through 6 super senses.
Maybe no, because I don't want to have 2 stop clicks. Say maybe throw a stop click in there, but I don't think that would match up because you could just hit right past those 2 powerful clicks on his 5 and 6.
Yeah.
If you play him at.
Yeah, so really,
higher.
oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you play it higher, you get more life, right? But you don't get those abilities, but you still get the spider box
Right.
regardless.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I think yeah. So those are kind of our predictions. Let us know in the comments or wherever what your predictions are. This will be very interesting to see, listen back and see how right or how wrong we were on this.
Yes. I will put money down
Oh,
that we got at least 2 right.
2 right? Okay.
I think at least 2. I know I have a strong feeling that the Age of Ultron Black Panther has to have a legacy card.
Yes, I would put the most money that I had in chips on that
Yeah.
on that bet. What would your second one be?
Probably the Man-Ape, I think,
Okay.
but that's a maybe.
I think Black Bolt would be my second.
Yeah, see, I think that one, but I think that would be cool if they did that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. They definitely go Illuminati's, like an Illuminati, like side keyword.
Yeah.
I think that those would be, but we don't know what side keywords they're doing yet. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know what it looks like it's going to be deity based. So maybe we're missing some like,
oh dang, I didn't even think of that.
yes.
So, but then that makes me think definitely could be the chase
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying now.
with the gauntlet.
Yeah, but they could do a whole deity subgenre of legacy cards basically, and that just
And
that opens up
to that.
yeah, that opens up a whole new thing of a whole new world basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even
Do you
know
think-
where to begin with that.
Do you think the deity bases are going to be just for super rares and chases?
The deity bases, I think all the deity bases and the deity like whatever is the stands, what do you call them? Deity bases or whatever.
Yeah.
I think those are all going to be the gods who sit on the sideline.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to start doing multiple per set. They obviously did the Poseidon in Masters of Time, and then we
Right.
know that the one fella, who is it? Is it Zeus that's coming soon? Is it Zeus that's doing it? I think it is Zeus. Yeah, it is Zeus. He's a chase figure in this next set.
The Black Panther?
Yeah. So I wonder if they're going to do more. I think they're going to keep up the whole, like, if it's on your sideline, you can use a special power if you meet the right conditions, and it's a once per game thing. I think they're all going to have that little divine favor thing that says they have safeguard, perplex, opposing perplex and prob. And then if they attack, the person they're attacking has -1 defense. I think they're going to continue to do that. How many? I think they might do a sub. I hope they don't, but because I hate it when they do sub chase themes. You know what I'm saying? Like how Avengers 60th had the how Spider-Man Beyond Amazing had the Avengers, and then they had the Carnage variants. I hate that kind of stuff. They just need to keep like
one.
Yes, like 8
consistent.
chases. Yeah, 6 to 8 chases, all the same theme. But I could see them doing 2, like a god theme and then a Wakanda themed chase sets, which sucks.
I think they're doing. I seen a storm chase. I think it was a chase.
Oh, Queen Storm?
Yeah, that one. I'm guessing that's going to be Wakandan. So
yeah, so that's a
they might just be doing that together. Oh, is it?
Yes, yeah, but it's like it's Queen Storm and King Black Panther, I believe. They are the
No, no. This one was a where did I see it at? It was a chase, and it's not called Storm, but it is Storm.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not see that. I must have missed that. Interesting. Huh. Well, if you find it, let me know. Yeah, so those are our takes for Black Panther.
Yeah, I found this picture. I'll send it to you right now.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so speaking of takes, we asked a really cool question in our Facebook group called Heroclix USA Community Discussion Page. If you would like to join, please do. Heroclix USA Community Discussion Page. We asked a question to the people in the page of the 148 members that are in there. What is your biggest HeroClix hot take? And I think these are really fun because I think it helps make the game just in general, have the game just be fun, see what figures people are talking about. It's just fun to give people the reins of just like, what is your hot take? It can be about anything about the game of HeroClix. What is your hot take? So we got some pretty interesting responses. So I would like to go through, I think, all of them. I think we have enough time to do all of them as long as we, some of these will probably be easy to answer. So yeah. All right. So I'll start off. Aaron Morgan, awesome dude. I really love his judging. He's been doing a lot with the Silver Age. And I really hope to get to know him better as I continue to play more HeroClix. But he says a hot take that he has is wanting to be opponents at their best, no matter the level of play. So let's do a scale. We can talk about it individually, but we'll do a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being like pepper, kind of like not super spicy, but kind of spicy. It's got a little spice to it. Obviously, 0 is none. And then 5 being like muy caliente, ghost pepper, reaper pepper, whatever it's called vibes. So, so what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know if that's really that spicy. I mean, I think anyone who plays competitively wants everyone to play at their best, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, I think that's not that, spicy of a take, in my opinion, because if I'm playing competitively, I don't want an easy win. I don't want to be like, oh, I won. So I think everyone kind of feels that way.
That makes sense. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like, I posted it in the comment as well. I call it the Goku mentality. Like Goku from, Dragon Ball Z is, I want to beat you at your best. I want to fight you. I want to have fun, but I don't want to fight you if you're not going to be trying. I don't want to fight you if you're like crippled, obviously, or if you're not using your 100% of what you could do. I kind of have that mentality too, even if that means me losing in the end. I would say, Aaron, that's probably a 1.5, thing. I know it's not everybody shares that opinion, but I feel like the majority do. All right. Asael Campos, if you haven't known, he is the Alpha Strike YouTube channel and Facebook group and Instagram channel. If you want to see another awesome HeroClix creator, Asael makes really great content, gameplay content, and he's a pretty good friend of mine as well. I talk to him pretty much quite a bit. So I love him, and he's a super cool dude as well. He says spectators of a match should be allowed to interject if the match is not being played properly by the rules. For example, reminding players of mystic damage or remembering to place wreckage markers from Kong Quakes. To be clear, not to coach players on what to do, but rather on what triggers must happen. What triggers must happen. Oof.
That's a hot one.
That's pretty hot.
Yeah. I would say that is no. I don't agree with that. Remembering that kind of stuff is part of the team. And if you forget that, I think that's your own fault.
Yes.
That's the whole point of building the team, is so that way, I mean, you have what you have built, you should know what you have built.
Yes, I agree. I think that if you, especially in a tournament setting, especially a higher level tournament, you should be knowing what your team is doing. And I understand that the game there's a lot of moving elements in the game. I understand that, and you're not going to catch everything. Scott Crampton, I did something on one of our games at Adepticon that was not legal, and I apologized to him, and he said this to me. He said, it is impossible to not accidentally cheat in a game of HeroClix. And I always keep that in the back of my mind, not saying like I'm going to intentionally pretend to cheat, but me and my player are playing. There are a lot of things happening and things are going to get missed, and that's okay. But also, if I can have my team doing everything that it should be doing, and you can do everything your team should be doing, then it's pretty much going to play out like a normal game of HeroClix.
Right.
So, Asael, I would give that a 5. Incredibly spice meter. I need some water after that one. Just reading that one. Our dear friend, Wes Robertson. And by the way, Wes Robertson is holding a Heroclix event
Yes.
November 9th and 10th. And we are both going as of right now, correct?
Yes, you will see both of us there for sure.
The Red, White, and Clicks event in Lafayette, Indiana. It'll be a postmodern worlds rotation, meaning that anything that's out currently in the rotation of modern is out, and Masters of Time is in with the legal sets. This will be one of the first modern tournaments with Masters of Time. Again, it's going to be awesome. And also, it's going to help. All the proceeds will go towards veterans, which Wes is a veteran. And he's a really cool dude. We talk to him almost every day, don't we, Manny?
Yes, yep. As of right now, I think most of the ballers are going to be there. So
okay, so most of the ballers, Man Thing and the ballers. So Man Thing and then his ballers.
My ball.
No, I didn't say that. Will be there. I think most of us will, and that includes Emilio. I'm going to name drop them. I'm not going to last name drop them, but Emilio, Gabe, Eli, Wes, myself, Manny, and then maybe some other people from Checkmate, maybe. And also some people from my group in Elkhart will also be probably going as well. So, and I'm not 100% confirmed on who's actually going, so I won't name drop them. But Wes Robertson says, time dilation Spider-Man chase from War of Realms is awesome. I would say, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I play it quite a bit in casual when we are playing up at Checkmate. So, yeah, I would say yes.
So
you can ask one of my guys from Checkmate, Greg. He really gets irritated when I play that Spider-Man, and I do play it quite often. So shout out Greg.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So Wes, I would give it a 1. Pretty solid figure. And like 1 on the spiciness. I don't think it's a very spicy take. I think a lot of people like that Spider-Man. Arville, Lamar, Stancil, Lamore. I'm sorry if I butcher these names. I'm really bad at pronouncing stuff in general, but he is a pretty new person, but he's pretty active in the Heroclix community. He says, per Degaton at 20 points and Space Ghost at 30 points, inherit the 50-point support piece void from double porters for non-themed modern. Yeah. I would say I can definitely see this happening.
I don't know what Space Ghost does, so give me 1 second.
So Space Ghost basically says he can use Perplex twice in 1 turn if he has 0 action tokens, and the people he perplexes have safeguard opposing probability control.
Okay.
On top of that, he has like super strength, super senses, stealth,
and his explosion, penetrating blast, energy shield deflection, and vulnerability. Force blast as free, and force blast as free, and then TK.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah. So I would give this probably a 2. I could see this. I'll say this is a 2 on the spiciness meter, I think. And obviously we all know what Perdegaton does.
That Perdegaton, I really definitely misjudged it when we did our sealed event at Checkmate. I played a kid. It came down to I had to chase Diana, and he had Perdegaton, and I rolled 1s and 2s the entire time I got near him, and killed myself. Wow! And he won with 20 points
on the hyper time.
Yep, on the hyper time.
Oh my god!
I rolled 9. I rolled 9 1s and 2s, and he rolled. I rolled 7 1s and 2s, and he rolled 2 super senses.
Wow.
Yeah. So I killed myself.
Wow. All right. Well, yeah. So, I mean, I think we all agree Perdegaton's super good. And I think Space Ghost will see a very large uptake in playing. Because you didn't see a lot of play in the post-world, the pre-world, or pre-rotation. But I think he will now, because theme teams are probably going to drop off a little bit. So, I would give that a 2.
Yeah, I'd say it's a 2.
All right, Wes Robertson again coming in with the tarot cards were a great mechanic and were a fine way, and they were fine the way they were pre-errata. I think this is a pretty spicy take.
Yeah, I would agree.
I personally don't like tarot cards, and I think there's a lot of players that don't like it. To me, with these kind of things, in general, kind of like Absorption Man, tarot cards. They're just adding another element to the game that you have to remember, and it's and it's really easy to miss, and that's on the player. But I mean, obviously, if you're at a higher level and if you've been playing with tarot cards more often, I feel like you don't do that as often. But considering what they can do, like the Nine of Swords card just completely says you just don't use super senses. You can't.
Right.
Like it just, you can't evade the attack. It's just a hotel tarot card just basically negates a whole bunch of stuff. And then the Page of Pentacles just says if you have stealth, you can jump around, so you can just build with that. The other Super Sense card says like you get +1 on Super Sense. It's just, there's so much stuff that I just feel like we don't need it in the game. So that's just, I think it's fine how they eroded it to have it only be tarot card users.
Yeah, if you really want it that bad, just go non-theme team, put them on there.
Yep, I agree. So I would say that would be a 4 on the spice meter.
Yeah, I'd say pretty up there.
Drew Solander.
Oh my gosh.
This guy. Drew is our old friend, and it's so funny. He posted this, and then people responded to him, and he just did not answer. And I'm like,
obviously.
Obviously.
He knew what he was doing.
He said, how good someone is as a player is 10% skill, 20% luck, and 70% based on how much you invest into buying the best figures. Ooh.
I don't agree. I mean, getting certain figures does have a lot to do with it, but I mean, you can still counter someone with your skill and your strategy, even if you're playing the same team. Yeah, I think your skill and strategy definitely has a lot to do with all of it.
Yeah, so this statement is actually, I think, a twofold statement. I think this statement that Drew made, number one, Drew's just prodding. I think I know where he's coming from with this. But the answer is twofold. I think the 70% on how much you invest into buying the best figures is actually, I feel like, a pretty valid point. I think some teams carry players, and I think that's where some players have it, and that's just their style. It's just, I'm going to buy the best figures, and I don't care what they are. I'm not going to think about team synergy. I'm not going to think about whatever, but I'm going to just buy the best figures, and however much points they are, and I'm going to have my team carry me. Now, I think if you are playing characters that are very underappreciated or very underplayed, and you're doing well with them, that shows your greatness as a player.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my answer, is twofold, I think. And then I think where you become a great Heroclix player is where you find that median, where you know what figures are good, but you're also willing to divulge into characters that are a little bit more obscure to help give your team the boost. And I think that's what top players in Modern do. Now, granted, some of those figures that they play are top tier all the time, and there's a reason, but they don't just slap everything together on one team. And I think the people who do that are hoping that the team will carry them. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I would say this is I don't know how to rate this, because I think it's actually it's kind of a mixture point. And I know Anthony Barnstable kind of said afterwards, like, Pulp, that's why we have Pulp, but Pulp is really overrun by overpowered figures too. So, because Orb exists and stuff like that. And I know PJ Bolin said something as well. And obviously Drew doesn't care, because Drew just plays at the kitchen table. So he does not care about he has probably no idea what half of the stuff is. He just thought, so he's like, I don't know what Pulp is. I don't know what Carve Silver Server. I don't know what MOE is. But, and some of it, I feel like, the 20% luck. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it just comes down to dice rolls.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. 100%.
I would say overall, this statement is a 3.5. I would say it's a very solid, above average spice level.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. I agree. Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. PJ Bolin, a really cool dude. I love this dude. He owes me a Spider-Man War of the Realms head if he's listening to this. You don't have to play the meta to have success at events. Yeah, I would say this is one of those things where I feel like it's like, yeah, that's not really a spicy take, but people still don't do it.
For me, I feel like when you would have to build specifically against the meta, I still feel like that sometimes doesn't work anyways.
No, I see what you're saying. Like,
yeah.
I feel like there are anti-meta picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
That just when you look at the meta, you look at it and you're like, okay, this is what's being played. I'm going to play a team or figures that completely nullify this specific team or figures.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really it. Everything else I play against is going to be a pretty much a uphill battle, but I will know for sure that I can beat this team.
Right.
I think moving into where we're going, there's going to be a lot of Colossals.
Right.
The Flash Raptor is very highly talked about because of how crazy it is. Kong is still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Man-Thing will see it Insurgents, I feel like, especially after winning Worlds, and also the lack of just 50 points that is minused from mystical and monster teams now, from other figures that were in the meta like Connor Silver Surfer. Arachnite was about 60 points, just like those kind of figures.
Right.
So I think stuff like Anthro, the team-up card that says the first attack on a giant or colossal size, they can't use defensive powers, is a perfect example of an anti-meta pick that I feel like is going to be something that you can consider.
Yeah.
So I would say on my end, I would say this is not a very, I would say it's spicy in the sense of what he's saying is true. You don't have to play the meta to have success at events, but also not a lot of people are brave enough to take those words into into actions. So yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I mean I agree. Like I played in a modern at my place the other day, and you know what I played, and we had talked about it. But before that, I was thinking there's probably going to be a lot of Colossals, and I was going to make a team around Major Logan, but then again, I was like, I feel like that's only good for this specific team, though. If I want to win, I would have to play a Kong every round or a Super Sore every round. Granted, I did, but still.
Yeah, I still did. Okay, so let's rate this one. Man, this one's so hard to rate. I would say because no one actually does it, I'd probably give it a 4.
Yeah. I'd say like right in the middle, so yeah, like 3.
Okay, cool. Tyler Whitsitt, who does custom Heroclix paintings. If you guys ever want some, he does amazing stuff. I have a couple myself that he did for me, and he also is just a great person in general. And I really apologize, Tyler, if I did not talk to you as much at Gen Con as I did. Yeah, I really apologize for that. Next time we see each other, we need to talk.
Me and Alex live in the same room, and he still didn't talk to me that much, so don't feel bad.
The level of joy your team brings you affects how well you play it.
I wouldn't say that's a hot take at all. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, if you have a team that you feel like you enjoyed playing more, you're going to put more effort into playing that team.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, even if you lose, I still feel like you got enjoyment of playing a team that you play, that you made, that you like.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with the statement.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say it's a hot take.
Yeah, I would give it a 1. I would give it pepper. Yep. Pepper levels of spice. But I agree with what you're saying, Tyler. So Emilio has 2 because he posted one and then he posted a second one after that. So Emilio, part of the Ballers, says, and also Star Brand aficionado and sommelier, says, we don't have any Avenger-based set on the horizon for at least a year, and that's a problem.
No, it's not.
I'm glad we both agree with it. I was like,
I mean, as a Marvel guy, yeah, let's put them on the back burner for a little bit. I'm really excited for these sets that have little to do with Avengers in general.
Yeah, we're going to get Avengers all right. Like, we will get Avengers in these sets. We just won't
He's
have
hope-
an
he's-
Avengers set.
He's hoping for a Star Brand Legacy card.
Oh my gosh,
You
bro.
think?
No.
He is writing WizKids right now.
I bet he is. I bet he's going to go to Heroclix for Huntington's just to win the legacy card thing.
Yes.
So he could go and make Star Brand.
I don't think it's a hot take, but I also don't think it needs to be done.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think anyone will be upset if there was an Avengers set, but I don't think anyone's going to be upset that there's not an Avengers set.
Yeah, from this next couple of sets that we're seeing, I mean, I just felt like we'd had a Spider-Man set, so maybe that's kind of the one I'm like, but Spider-Verse brings a lot of cool stuff in general, so that might be cool. But the other ones, like the Hulk Smash set, we haven't had a Hulk set in a while.
Yeah, and I just what could be in that set.
Yes,
seems exciting to me.
I agree. I think it's really cool. But his second one, let's see what he says. The Clix community is too small. The design space is too large. And tournaments are too infrequent to accurately establish what the true meta of any modern format. Ooh. So I think this is a hot take in terms of putting it into text, but I agree with him. Does that make sense?
I mean, I completely get it. I mean, I'm not a big meta person, so that's more about you guys.
Yeah, so I would say that's why I think this has been a very point of contention just in general since the conception of competitive Clix. And I think Ryan Opalk, the new person, I think I said his name right, Opalk, the new guy that's doing all of the tournament and running all the organizations, this is his first, I don't even think he's made it a full year yet, but he is doing an amazing job of trying to get tournaments on the map and even more grassroots tournaments and getting them more pricing and whatnot. So I think Ryan is going to probably read this and be like, all right, like bet, like this is just wait till you see what we got coming up.
Yeah.
So I think Ryan is going to be doing some awesome stuff moving forward. If you're listening, Ryan, you're awesome. Yeah, I think that he's going to be doing some great stuff moving forward. Just even talking to him at Gen Con and just listening to him from the Worlds, from Dial H's broadcast and stuff like that, just listening to him, he seems like a really good guy. He feels like he really wants to put more stuff in the tournament scene to develop more metas, because I agree the design space is too large. I think what he's saying is there's too many pieces in Modern at one time to and so little events to actually create a meta. I know Emilio also comes in a background of TCGs where there's so many local events at TCGs and so many big TCG just tournaments in general, like all over the states and just everywhere. And the metas usually get picked up really good. Not to mention there's online events for trading card games too. There's not many. There's some HeroClix online events, but I think a lot of people are kind of discouraged to play them because it feels very lifeless on Roll20, which is maybe a hot take. But yeah, I think in terms of if I was Ryan or WizKids reading this, I would say that's a hot take, but I agree with him. I think that, but I also know that over the horizon, the best is yet to come.
I mean, I'm always down for more events, so.
Heck yeah. We're all down for more events. I hope that answers, or I hope that's what you were getting at, Emilio. All right, Diego Valdez. I think this is the Diego that plays with Asael in Texas. Super cool guy. He ran Assassins at Worlds. He says, WizKids shouldn't put one busted figure in a set to allow one person to dominate a local sealed event. Make it more balanced so everyone has fun at a sealed event.
I 100% agree with this.
Okay.
As a person, this is one that I really stuck out to me when I was reading it. As a person who plays sealed more and enjoys sealed more, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Because like I could go in and make a great team and just get decimated by a dark side.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I would also kind of agree with this. I think when WizKids, since sealed events are becoming more popular and they're more advocating for sealed events because they run them so often, especially at their bigger events, they should think about this stuff when they're designing a set. Or think about saying, Well, Darkseid probably shouldn't be played in battle royales, or if he is, we need to severely neuter him so he is at least somewhat beatable.
Oh, 100%.
So, Diego, I would say spiciness level, I would say maybe a 2. Pretty non-spicy take in my opinion, but I think it is a very true statement. I think WizKids should maybe start looking at this and thinking about their sealed events as well. Or maybe just place in rules for some sealed events if they do have a super overpowered figure that they're like, maybe this will be an issue in sealed. Maybe they place some rules in that. But yeah. Simeon Bruce, Dial H, fella. I am a firm believer that every game is won or lost within 1 to 8 turns. It may not be technically over, but you can usually tell who's going to win in that span. I love the 8 turns.
I say that's a hot take.
Yeah, 8 turns, bro. Yeah, that's pretty hot. I'm trying to see if he has any follow-ups to this. Yeah, I would say it's a pretty hot take. I think if you're going to 8 turns, then you're just like literally saying pass. Like your opponent moves up and you go pass, and your opponent moves up and he goes pass. I think obviously he was saying this as an attempt to a joke.
Right.
But I thought it was funny anyways. I thought I'd mention it. Good job, Sivian. Incredibly hot take. I would say 5.
I would still disagree with that.
Ooh, okay. What would you say?
Anything could happen in a game of Heroclix. Like I brought up a little bit ago about the per degaton. Like, you looking at the game, how it went right off the rip, you would think there's no way he was winning.
Oh, yeah, because he probably played him at 20 points, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
To my 100-something point Diana chase.
That makes sense.
So, I don't know. There's always different things that can happen during a game.
I somewhat agree with that. But there's a lot of times I feel like I'm watching HeroClix games unfold, and you're just like, oh, how does he? I don't think he can pull it out. And it's always fun to watch him pull it out. And you're like, oh, good job.
Yeah. Obviously there is games like that, but I don't think it's always a thing.
Okay, so Dennis Peliquin, I hope I said your name right, says, I think the market is oversaturated with product. Yep. I agree with this. I think if I was WizKids looking at this, I would be like, that's a hot take.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm really good at that.
But yes, I agree. I think the amount of time between sets sometimes is a little overbearing.
That is why I am glad I do not collect DC stuff.
Yeah, so you've really had a nice little break.
I get a break every 4 months or every 4 sets.
But also on top of that, like, iconics sometimes come out pretty frequently.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And sometimes those iconics aren't like made in high quantities or made exclusive for some stuff, and they're very hard to find. That's kind of my take on that. I would say if I was WizKids looking at this, I'd say this is a 5 spiciness meter, but I agree with this statement.
Yeah, I do as well.
Give us a break on our wallet. Brandon Hogan says, hot take for me. Brandon Hogan, great guy. Played against Gen Con, super cool. Hot take for me is I cannot freaking wait for the collector's trove. It will be the best. Will it be the best equipment set? Black Panther looks awesome. I think these next few sets will be even more amazing than the last ones. I love the designs, the balance, and this year's set's releases. All who are involved have done an amazing job. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think it's a hot take.
Another one though. Maybe a 0.
Yeah, I would say I would say maybe a 1 or 1.5 because I personally am not on the edge of my seat waiting for a collector's trove. Personally,
Really?
yet. Yeah, not yet. Not much has been really disclosed. I know what they promised is cool, but that whole set could be trash for all we know. It could be a next phase set. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would say a 1 on the spiciness meter.
Yeah, agree.
Dennis Peliquin also says, I'm curious about my next question. Then I have, I'm curious about my next question than any other I have posted today. What will likely be the biggest thing causing the demise of HeroClix? That's not a spicy take, but that is a spicy words to weave. Oof. What do you think will be the ultimate demise of Heroclix?
Well,
So I think it could be a couple things. I
okay.
think there's two things that I think would happen that would stop Heroclix in general. I think number one, I think WizKids could probably look at this and be so fed up with the community and how much they pester them and say, you know what? I'm done. I make so much money off of the D&D figures. I make so much money off of other board games and other stuff that I don't feel like I need to be really involved with how much scrutiny we get. And whether or not that scrutiny or whether or not those are just constructive criticism things and WizKids just fed up with it or just other stuff in general, I think that might be something. I think that's more unlikely because I think WizKids still, because you look at it from a business perspective, right? It still makes WizKids money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that would be my one thing. I think that's a more unlikely thing. I think the more likely scenario to happen is just stagnancy in the game and players just drop out and no one stops and then no one buys the game. Like, and when I say stagnancy, it mainly, I think, as much as we love playing at the kitchen table, we love playing Silver Age, we play all these things, 3.5 Modern, I feel like, is the big chungy wungy of Heroclix. And I feel like that's kind of the thing that people gauge the market off of, is how modern and how powerful it is in Modern a figure is or an element. So I think if you start to make too many figures overpowered or too many figures just too good, and it becomes a stagnant game where it's just if you either play this figure or you don't play this figure, then I think that would cause the game to go stagnant. And I think that would cause people to stop playing. And I think that would cause WizKids to ultimately say, this doesn't make enough money for us anymore. We're going to have to shut it down.
Yeah, I could agree with that one. That second one definitely for sure would be more likely to happen.
Yeah, so that would be so I would say if I'm Heroclix, WizKids looking at this, I would say this is a 6 on the spicy. This is probably spicy.
Yeah, way.
I am not afraid to shy away from answers like this, and I'm not afraid to shy away from criticism that's legit, but I'm also good to sing WizKids praises and also be good with saying I like WizKids and everything that they do that they do well, I'm willing to sing their praises and support them. But if they don't, or the community is being toxic, then I'm okay with calling them out on it. And I don't care, honestly, what happens to me in that. Ultimately, I will continue to make content for this game. I will continue to play this game as long as it's run and being run correctly. And nothing will that's basically my kind of soapboxy stance on that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. Hopefully I don't get canceled for that one. I don't think I will. Anthony Barnstable, my muse, Anthony, another super nice guy in Heroclix, one of the great judges. All generated game elements, bystanders, yes, even barrier markers, should be worth 1 victory point when KO'd or removed from the game. I actually kind of like this.
Yeah, I do too, because then it restricts people from wanting to use them as well too.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I would say spiciness level, I would give it a 4 or a 3.
I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with that.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I think that prevents people from wanting to put in terrain markers or calling in certain bystanders, which adds another strategy to my view to the game of if I should or not.
It also gives an element of I could beat you by 1 or 2 points because you generated that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and definitely, so the barriers thing, maybe a little less. That's a little bit more spicy.
Oh yeah.
But the bystanders thing,
bystanders for sure, or special terrain. Yep,
100%. I agree. I would say in terms of the community, like people looking at this, I would say spiciness level. I would say a 3.5. I think is said.
Yep.
Yep. Or maybe a 4.
I'd say a 4. Yep.
So, but I agree with this. I think this is kind of cool. Okay, so we kind of touched on this one, Carl Henry Jr., but we'll talk about it maybe a little bit more. Iconics were releasing too fast. I'm not even a gotta catch 'em all player. Beetlejuice, Trigon, Sandman, and D&D all look fun, but are going to be a struggle for me to try and buy those PAHKs. I'm not too sure what that stands for. And cherry pick what I want from sets. I still don't own a Guardians of the Galaxy Advent Calendar, Butterfly, Peacemaker, and the 2 Hellfire Gala boxes. To be fair, those things are crazy expensive that I want. My entertainment budget isn't built like that. We kind of talked about this. I think in terms of WizKids looking at this is a 4 spiciness level because they want to make money, and I get that.
Right.
But I agree. I agree with this.
Yeah, me too. I literally just picked up the first appearance Wolverine like last week.
Yeah.
And now my store already has the first appearance Avengers, so it's like
yeah, I agree. Yeah. I saw the first appearance Avengers 2 and I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, I'll just wait.
So did I. Yep. I still don't have an Advent calendar. There's like 3 of them sitting at my shop at the Checkmate. I still don't have what was the other one? The Hellfire Gala Avengers one. Don't have that yet either.
The only reason I have that one is because someone was selling it without Dr. Doom, and it was $30. So I was like, nice. Yeah, I'll take the rest of those figures for $30, please.
I do have to get to the third one though because it doesn't have a Gambit in it. So
okay, yeah, that makes sense. In terms of the so this also kind of comes down to I don't want to talk about this too much because I'm not a financial guru or anything like that, but I also believe that if you should, number one, you should budget for Heroclix. I don't think you should be dropping your hard-earned paycheck money on Heroclix the moment that it goes into your bank account. I think that you should be budgeting for this stuff. And if you don't have the budget for it, then you just simply don't spend it. And I know that's easier said than done. And I know that that might be a hot take, and it might be also making some people upset. But honestly, your livelihood, your life, especially if you're married and have kids or supporting people, that should be your number one priority. And even though some people have the FOMO or have that mentality of, I have to play what I own, I'm not going to borrow pieces, I think that's something that needs to be overcome in general. And I think one thing that just in general, I think a lot of people don't spend their money wisely on these kind of games. That might be a really hot take, and that might make some people really upset. And that's fine. You can totally disagree with me on that. We can have a dialogue about that. That's fine. But that is my take on the financial side of Heroclix. So if you have to go buy the Hellfire Gala box because you really want to, it's $70. Maybe just wait.
Yeah, just wait.
Yeah. So okay,
and that's coming from someone who was like that when I first started playing Heroclix to where I'm at now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was the same way a little bit. I used to spend a lot of paychecks on Heroclix, and yeah, I'm glad that I somewhat budget now.
Yeah.
Same. Miles Kane, super great team builder, super cool guy from what I hear. I would love to talk to you more, Miles. So please reach out. You and D-Generation Clicks. I love listening to you guys. There are more good pilots than good team builders. People are scared to actually try something different, preferring to use a build that is won consistently. The main flaws to that is just because a team wins doesn't mean that you can win with it. Ooh, that's it's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this when I say spicy, and maybe this is too late in the podcast to say this, but when I say spicy, when I'm saying this is spicy, I'm looking at it from either a WizKids or a collective Heroclix community perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not I agree with it, that's okay. You can be radical and agree with stuff that is probably perceived as not correct.
Yeah, agreed.
In Heroclix. I'm not. That's not my political statement. Although, yeah. Anyways, so I think there are more good pilots. I think people are better team builders than they give themselves credit for. Something that you and I and Lucas Van Hollen on the last podcast we had kind of touched on this a little bit. I think this actually kind of hits the nail on the head very well, very square. I think there's a lot of people who are good team builders. I think like you, Manny, I think you were a great team builder. You just don't play Modern. And I see the team building expertise in you coming from Sealed, because that is literally you getting 10 minutes to build a team and still doing consistently well. You ran a lot of BR tables from what I remember at Gen Con. And I think that's, a testament to your team building. So it's just like, now imagine what you would do with days, even months of testing and playing I know that's time, right? So that's another investment that you have to have. So, but I agree. I think people are too scared to play because they don't want to lose. One thing that I learned was we had this time and period at our play shop that we would come out and play basically a 300-point tournament, but it wasn't recorded and it was pretty loose in terms of like talking, and like if you wanted to switch out teams, you could. And I ran Venom God Symbiote because I think he is a crazy awesome figure, but I wanted to see if he actually worked. And it took 3 games of me getting absolutely demolished to know that he does not actually work. But I was okay with that. But I was okay with losing because that was the point. And I think sometimes, yes, maybe don't try that with Gen Con or Worlds, but I think at your locals or even more smaller grassroots events, yeah, you should totally go in with stuff that you think can win. Sorry, I'm just not trying to take up all this time and talk, but I played I played on a Winnet map right before Amit's Tomb was broken or banned. It is still broken. It's just banned now. But I wanted to have a point to say this card is good and it can make anything good. Why? Because it's incredibly busted. So I made a Black Adam team and played it in Modern. And I ended up winning the Winnet map with a Black Adam team. And Black Adam is considered not very good. I think he is fine personally, but I don't think he is a meta-defining nor even thinkable figure that people would ever use. But I tried it out because I was like, it's just an online tournament. There's nothing really here to lose. So I'm not trying to say, and I know there was a lot of good players in that tournament, and I know a lot of those players ended up dropping out because they lost a game, but my fact still stands. Like if you are in a grassroots tournament, smaller tournaments or something, and you truly believe a team will work and you can test it out and show results that it can do well, then you should totally play it regardless of whether or not it has a $100, $200, $300 figure on it that's just bananas and just wreck shop. So anyway, sorry, that's my point. I think go ahead. Sorry, I talked too much.
No, I agree. I agree with all that.
Good. Otherwise, I wouldn't have you on this. If you didn't just agree with me, I wouldn't have you here. No, I was kidding. So I would say, Miles, that's a 4.5 on the spiciness meter. I think that's a very spicy take, and I also agree with it. There is nothing wrong. Sorry, Cole. This is your Cole, right? Checkmate Cole. Cole's Sturris.
Yes. Yep.
There's nothing wrong with errata bans on a piece to help the game balance and meta diversity. I don't know if that's a lot of click players don't play other games, but I see way too many people with pitchforks asking for refunds when one of their pieces gets nerfed. Yeah, that's a pretty spicy take. Again, I agree with this. To me, this is all I'm going to say, because there was a big nerf that just happened with the Dark Side Ghost Rider thing.
Yep.
If people are talking about banning it, and they're pretty credible people, and they're talking about that it should be, like, people are going to address it. We've talked to people that's going to be addressed. I think WizKids is going to address it. And so many people talk about it. I would probably wait on spending that much money on a tech that might not be viable in a couple days.
I'm all about that, the erratas and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against it. I think they always help balance stuff. And just because you have that figure and it got errated does not mean it's crap.
I totally agree with that. I think some people would get upset about that statement, but I'd say it's probably a 3.
I think the people who would get upset about that statement is people who put the money into buying that figure.
Yep. Jay Patel, super awesome guy. Again, pushing damage should be brought back, but it's optional. As it sits, players have no reliable ways to manipulate their own dials. I think this is very, very spicy.
Yeah.
And I think it would be cool for it to be optional.
I disagree.
Ooh, okay. So you think it should just come back all general or just not come back?
I like the way it works now. Well, what figure in my eyes do you want to take damage?
That's a good point. That's a really good point, actually.
Like I'm not playing my figures to help you.
Ooh, okay. That actually, okay. So you've swayed my, just saying that just swayed my opinion. Okay. Because I was going to say, yeah, I think that's good, but I think I'm thinking about older figures that I just don't ever play.
Yeah, but like, but like in tournament play, you're never going to play those. And like, yeah, back then pushing damage did stuff to help. Like, example, Tim Hunter,
Yeah.
The ultimate, yeah, like you would want to push him, right?
Yep.
But now it doesn't matter.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay. So I would say very spicy. If you would, I would say 4 on the spiciness meter. Excuse me. I don't know why I said
Okay.
meter. I think that it's a very spicy take, and I was going to agree with you, but Manny, you have swayed my opinion.
Oh, I've done something.
Oh my word!
I can play Heroclix, guys.
He said, "I promised you, I play." You play way more often than I do. That's for sure.
What?
PJ Bolin, love again. We've talked about him. Great person. People who blame their dice for losses will never get better at HeroClix.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this one. How about you just at me next time, buddy? Why don't you just tag me in that next time?
I firmly believe that the game is best played when you put the odds in your favor. Put all the odds in your favor, you can still roll bad.
I have done it multiple times, but I still play.
Yeah, so I try not to say stuff like my dice go cold or I stopped rolling good or something like that. I think it comes down to sometimes that does happen. It's just the odds of the universe sometimes.
Yeah, it is a big running joke at Chuckmate about my dice. For
Your
sure.
dice actually are pretty wonky.
Dude, they are literally insane, and I've bought new dice, and still have not done great. And it's not just HeroClix either. I'm just going to throw that out there. My Summoner War rolls are also terrible. So
here's a question: with people who have notoriously bad dice, do you think that eventually that'll swing because just the odds of just in general dice and how probability works? Do you think that eventually down the line of you playing games with dice and odds will get better?
I think so. I mean, I think like you roll so many bad times, you get good karma, right?
Yes, exactly.
So I would say I could agree with that. When I played in the modern tournament the other day, as you know, I just played Phoenix Wolverine, and I squad wiped a team in one turn based off of 2 critical hits on a flurry and poison damage. So it was pretty nice. It was like the second turn of the game. I charge flurried, because I gave him motorcycle, charge flurried up. Critical hit, first attack, critical hit, second attack.
Oh my gosh, bro. That's some spiciness right there.
Yeah, game ended next round. So yeah,
he
I
cried.
mean,
No, I was kidding.
no, he was actually like, that is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. So he was really cool about it.
Yeah, there's
They
nothing
were
you can
really
do
cool
about that.
Sorry.
Here's the spicy take that I have. I think that critical misses, and critical hits should not be rerollable.
You think so?
I firmly believe it.
I would disagree with that. Just on the side of I roll way more critical misses than I do critical hits.
I also think personally, if I never rolled another critical miss or critical hit ever again, I'd be okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I would agree with that.
So, PJ, I would say, as the community would look at this, I would say a lot of people would say, yeah, I agree with that. But a lot of people blame their dice. So like, I think they're going to be like, yeah, I agree with this.
I do blame my dice, but I also am not a crybaby. So I will still get better at the game. I promise.
Yeah. And then Brandon Hogan. I'm not going to read that because that was super unfortunate about the Ultra Chase. We all know what happened there.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, should not. I understand this game. I understand this game can be very emotional. I know a lot of people put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this game, and time and money. And sometimes stuff happens. I mean, we all have gotten emotional. You and I could just talk about the times on our hand that we've seen either each other get emotional or seen other people get emotional in just our little play group when we were playing in high school and into our early adult years. So it happens. I get it. But there comes a point where you're just like, you gotta keep it under control. It is just a game in the end.
And not only that, it's the circumstances too. Is like, that wasn't your figure.
Yeah.
That wasn't your figure. And the price of that figure alone is unmatchable for what you, in my opinion, what happened.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, tangent over.
I
I
mean,
don't want to talk about it too much.
Granted, I have, had bursts. The one time me and Drew played and I threw all the figures off the table, but
Yeah, no, and I've gotten mad too, and I was like, I got mad also playing with Drew. It's always Drew, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what? Now I'm starting to realize Drew's the problem here, isn't
Drew's
he?
the problem. I remember him beating me pretty bad, and he like gave me my figure back, and I just was like, "Don't touch my figure." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't touch my figure. That's my favorite figure." He's like, "This is your favorite figure." I'm like, "Yes, don't touch it." And he could tell like, all right, like you're way too emotional to be talking to you right now.
Yeah.
I've done stuff like that too. Wes Robertson again says, hot take, red, white, and clicks will be the best event of the year. Well, I don't know. No offense, Wes.
I'm hoping so.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping it's an amazing event. But
yes,
it is 2024 and World has happened. And I think most people would say either Clicks Championship or Huntington's or Worlds is usually the best experience that you can play in Heroclix. Neither of which I've been to. I've never been to any of them. So, but
yeah, I've only been to Jungon, so
I think a lot of people's complaints come from how it's run and how it's ruled and how people react to those things. And I know you're not going to make everyone happy, but Wes, I truly believe that you are going to run a great event, and I'm hoping it is the event of the year.
Yeah, me too.
I hope it's a staple event.
I personally am actually super excited for it. So
I am too. I'm very excited. I told my wife, I said, listen, if these are the last two events that I could go to the whole entire year, this is one of them. And then I have one more at my locals that I would like to go to. So I really am very high hopes about this one. I hope to see you guys out there too if you're listening.
Alec and I will be redeeming ourselves and team sealed.
Yes, so we will be. Eli, another Man Thing baller, says Major Logan's price was blown out of proportion.
Yes. Good.
Way too high of an asking price for the piece that isn't going to be on most starting forces, if any, and almost never leaves the sideline, if ever.
I say, Eli, stop crying. You can buy mine off me for $100.
I would say this is a medium take. So the reason why I say medium is because, number one, I think the first sentence, yes, this is a true statement. And I think this is a hot take. Actually, I don't think it's a hot take. I think a lot of people are also saying this piece is way too expensive.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So I think that's not the hot take. I think the part that's saying that it isn't going to be main force and it's almost never leaves the sideline. I think that's a hot take. I think that part will be, time will obviously tell, but I think that's a very hot take.
Yeah, especially with a lot more Colossals being played, I do think that you might be fielded more often.
I agree. So I would say 3 in the middle because you had me in the beginning, and then
I also say the people who think the price is too high are the people who don't have one.
You tell them. Although I will say this, Calder S, and Calder and I have talked about it. I trade. I've said many times, I've stated, I have made some incredible deals this year with trading, and I don't know how I get them. However, I had one of the worst trades that was 100% my fault and not Calder's. I traded my Major Logan for Colossus Prime, just straight up, and a couple of Deadpool dice. This was before Gen Con happened, so I feel that kind of eases the blow a little bit.
Yeah.
But still, I could have sold Major Logan and bought 3 or 4 Colossus Primes at this point.
Yeah. I got lucky. A guy from our place pulled it, newer guy, and I just unloaded a bunch of old Spider-Man stuff to him.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, honestly, at the time, the value of the Spider-Man stuff that I traded him was more than the Major Logan at the time. But now it is not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. We made some boneheaded decisions. We all have. That was mine of 2024. For trades, that is. So yeah, thanks, Eli. Eli also has another one, actually. He says, Tim Hunter Legacy is underrated. I don't know why he's not talking about more. Yes, I agree. I think this is a hot take. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Tim Hunter. I think he's amazing.
I don't know what he does, so I can look him up right now.
Yeah. So he basically says, prob, you can use it twice if it's not your turn. So you have 2 defensive probs from one character. He's 40 points. He has enhancement, and if he gets carried, the person carrying has speed +2. And his defensive power says that if he is within 6 squares, I believe, of another mystical character of higher point value than him, then damage dealt to him is he only takes a maximum of 1 damage.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's cool. I mean, that definitely helps with the pushing stuff.
So he's a 40-point figure with 2 probs and does not die to just 1 attack. Although it is not protected pulse wave, so you could technically pulse wave him.
Pulse wave knockback, yeah. But I think it's still pretty for me, obviously, double props, cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
I agree.
Love to hear.
and that damage thingy is protected outwit, so you can't outwit it either.
Oh, okay, yeah. So heck yeah.
So he's within his range. His range is 6 squares. 6 square double prob on defense. I think that's very good.
A chance of you getting him on click 4 at some point.
Yeah. I played him at an event at my store just to do like practice rounds of using Masters of Timepieces, and I used him on a mystical team, and I thought he was amazing. So I'm very high on him. I think if you want to make him even more supporty, you can attach Tower Ret to him, and now you have a 650-point double prob, single prob on your turn, enhancement with outwit and support that literally just gets carried around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Tim Hunter, I very much enjoy him. I think he's very good. Okay, so we have one more, and then we will call it a night. The last one is Aquanix is an underrated support figure, especially on teams with other giants and colossals.
I can agree with Gabe because of the fact, and I know who it is, you didn't even have to say the name, because I did lose to him in our modern tournament because Aquanix supported and healed the green torch all the way back up. Other than that, I think it would have been a lot closer and a lot different game, but it definitely came in clutch when he rolled a 6 on that support and ruined everything that I did.
I've played against this Aquanix specifically that he's talking about. It has the Herald keyword, which I really like. It has the middle stop click that generates that perplexed dolphin, which I really like as well. I think Aquanix is pretty good. I think so. I kind of agree with him. I think people are kind of sleeping on him, but I also don't really target him in general because I know that he doesn't do anything offensively. So he just kind of becomes 50 points of outwit, mastermind, and perplex and support. And he's a giant, so anybody could see him. So, not my favorite of the colossal Jurassic League. I still like Flash Raptor and Superstore better, but I get it. I think Aquanix is. I think people are sleeping on Aquanix. I think he's going to
it
be
definitely
all right.
Knocked me out of top 3, so
gotcha.
I'll give it credit there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, thank you guys, everybody, for giving us our hot takes. I hope we didn't ruffle too many feathers. In general, I think this was fun. Maybe we'll do this again sometime. We will now do our Chat GPT outro. Manny, I sent it to you if you saw it. All right, here we go. And that wraps up another episode of another Heroclix podcast. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into Black Panther legacy card predictions and the hot topics of the Heroclix community.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and view us on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps us out.
And we want to hear from you. Join the conversation on social media. You can find us at YouTube, Podbean, and Spotify, and some other places that we do podcast. I actually don't even know where I upload my podcast sometimes. I think iHeartRadio has it too. And also, if you want to, join the Heroclix USA community Discord discussion page. Not the Discord. We don't do that. So if you want to see cool pictures and also discuss with us some other stuff or post your own content, that's also free as well.
Yeah, got any questions or topics suggestions? Go ahead and shoot us those to the discussion page as well. We love hearing from you.
Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and stay curious. They always get us with this. Stay curious.
Catch you later. Stay awesome.
Love it.
Oh, there's supposed to be a pause there. Dang.
And then keep on clicksin'.
Keep on clicksin'.
Oh man, that's funny. Good stuff.